guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Put in the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash. 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 Yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when I tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Cleveland Browns. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Detroit Lions and the Cleveland Browns. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Here we go. 30 base. We ain't giving up nothing. Ready.
First carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
18 Gators.
On second down, Freeman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down. To throw on third down. Dodson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerome Baker, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
166, pull it, shoot.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. And a peek now at the offense for Cleveland.
And they should come in pretty well rested because they had their open week last week. Ideally, all teams want to have that open week later in the year rather than this early. But you make do with what they give you. So you take the time off, rest up, heal up, and come in ready to play.
Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Barlow. He completes it to Henry. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Off-play action. Barlow.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Barlow. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. An 11-yard touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Back to throw. Dodson. The open man is Smith. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion.
Ready? 8, read. Check 56. 3 butt. Shoot.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6. On 3rd down, Dodson looking long for Thomas. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So well done there, and these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do, and now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about...
There he goes, left side! And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland! Hollywood Marquise Brown, his 11th touchdown of the year, and the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point right down the middle. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Come on, man. Let's go.
And Detroit getting set to go now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Dodson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerome Baker, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And it's fielded at the 34. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And now the throw here is incomplete. And with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Protein spill. Go.
On 2nd down now. It's Elliott pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Faster.
Yeah, baby.
Go.
That's a gain of 3.
Off the play fake. Barlow. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. Back to throw. Barlow.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Beard. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays. All the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
You ready?
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. Now.
To throw on 2nd down. Dodson.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
He's got Freeman here. It's complete.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. This offense converted once on fourth down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Looking to throw. Barlow. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. This is Freeman. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun. Dodson. It's caught. Smith. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. On 1st and 10, Dodson. And now look at him go. The 40. He's at the 30. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Here's 2nd and 8. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Pulled in at the 24. A minute 52 to play until halftime. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join, who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Marquise Brown, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. The extra point splits the uprights, and the rout is on here in this first half. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass, and that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
On the
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Dodson, and that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Freeman, and an alley to run. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On 1st down, Dodson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To throw again. Dodson. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. This quarterback now just 6 of 15 through the air. Not good, and he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a 1st down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Jerome Baker in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the pressure gets to him again. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the 2nd half.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe.
And that's caught inside the 35. So we've reached, and okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Browns are going to get the 2nd half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice 1st half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. He's going deep for Brown. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, 75 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. Point after, right down the middle.
Teams always want to send messages. I think that was quite a statement there to start the third quarter.
Yeah, less than a minute in, already that quick, long strike. They are setting the tone for the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw. Barlow. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On 4th down, Barlow. And that is going to be incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Lions will take over. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Freeman again. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That 2nd down play nets a -4. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. From the gun, Dodson. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up 4th down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught at the 20. It's a big play there for the Browns. 58 yards. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Barlow, and caught by Henry. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a 1st down. Looking to throw. Barlow hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Right there, 56. Here we go.
Running for the first time with a fullback, C.J. Ham. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Looking to throw on second down. Dodson. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford any more at this point.
That's it, baby. You go.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
Back to throw. Barlow is going to fire one deep open. That's caught at the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. It's a gain of 35. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Barlow. But he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Great gains back-to-back. Last time over 30 yards, better than 20 here. Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice.
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. No success on 1st down. He couldn't get any yardage. They give it to him again, and he finds the end zone.
Sometimes it just has to be persistence, doesn't it? And you know who else helps with that? Offensive line. After a team's been stuffed, the last thing they want to do is go to a different play call. They want to come back and do it again and show that they can dominate the line of scrimmage.
And Detroit getting set to go now. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one good for 33 and a 1st. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Freeman. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in trouble.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle.
That's caught inside the 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by one more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. 2nd and 1. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front.
And he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. The ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
First down, Lions on a pickup of 13. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Dodson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throwing again. Dodson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Dodson. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. In for the score. And it's for pride now, but the Lions do get a bit closer.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is. I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
D-line, get that quarterback. Get it.
Off play action. Barlow. He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
And that's going to be caught for Brown's touchdown. from 4 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And Detroit getting set to go now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do?
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's a first down throw that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Operating from the gun. Dodson, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. Back to throw. Dodson. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down. On 3rd and 2, Dodson. Open man is Michael Thomas. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 19. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he...
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. That's a whole... A lot of points still to be down, but congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
Like my old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Gonna save the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense trots back onto the field, and we take an in-depth look at Royce Freeman. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early, it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now, all of a sudden, the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence that they just get their assignment.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Throwing on 3rd and long. Dodson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Here's Elliott. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. He's going deep for Brown. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
1st down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
56. Check 56. I got it.
Throwing on 1st down. Dodson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. The pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Looking to throw. Dodson, complete. Smith has it. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for 4th down. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Back to throw. Dodson, and that's caught by Smith. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now, no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
30 base.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defense